I have prepared a series of videos about testing soldering stations, and this episode is the intro. Most such tests involve hundreds of measurements and a lot of time spent, but the one that I have chosen is instantly relevant. Furthermore, it features two soldering stations side by side and powered through a single switch so that the start is synchronized. All of the test filming is live and not edited, so you can check yourselves the validity of my measured timings. This test is called the release time test, and it counts the time to liquefying solder. I also call it a flag test because it involves a little piece, like the one I have here, a piece of PCB, that's fixed on the soldering tip, and in the background I'll do exactly this. I'll solder it on a tip that will have to be tested further down the timeline, and when you start the station, it will get relatively fast to the point where it liquefies this solder again, and at that time this little piece will simply fall under its own weight. I use soldering alloy made of tin, copper and silver, which should be liquefying at about 210 degrees, so a bit higher than the normal leaded alloy that we generally tend to use. For JBC, we also have to be very attentive of the impedance of the whole assembly of handpiece and cartridge, because that impedance is variable, and if we have to compare two stations, it's obviously necessary that we pair the impedance of that assemblies. For instance, this is one of the assembly, and I shall move the testing points to this one that we just soldered the flag to, and you can see it's very well matched. So I can proceed now doing tests, knowing that the impedance that we are talking about is very well paired between two sets of soldering rigs.